What's up, everyone? Welcome to Smark Shooters. It is the best there is, best there was, best there ever will be video, podcast, anything wrestling related you have ever seen. I am one of your co-hosts. My name is Ernie, the Blood Without Fear. I am also joined by the big boss himself, my man Kevin.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Smark Shooters inaugural episode. I'm so stoked to be here.
Also, we got the heart and soul of Nerd Not a Wonder. Is that Adam? That's actually Adam. But you know what? Today you are the heart and soul because you're actually here and you actually like wrestling. So, my man, the architect, Nick, did he just freeze?
No, I thought I saw you pushing something, so I thought you were doing like an audio thing.
No. I literally put my hand down.
Oh, okay. Here.
He's here. He's here.
There you go. That's what I thought
That's what he was doing before.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. And then we also got the limit break in here. We got my man Sean in here. What's popping?
How we doing, guys?
All right. Okay, so today is a special day because we are literally in preparation for WWE Extreme Rules. The Extreme Rules pay-per-view that does not really have many Extreme Rules matches.
Or any.
Any matches.
There's no Extreme Rules like whatsoever.
Okay, you know what? I don't want to.
No holds barred, and we have a last man standing.
So no Extreme Rules.
No Extreme Rules. Basically, a match you can see on Raw or SmackDown any week.
Right, but the SmackDown tag teams is basically no disqualification, so it could get extreme.
And well, here's the thing, and this is a tag match that's not even for the belts. That's the.
No, it is for the belts.
No, we're talking about the. Which one?
All of them are for the belts.
Well, no. There's one of them that is not for any belts because it's Undertaker and.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I'm talking about the SmackDown.
Because it's a forgettable match. It's a forgettable match. I don't even blame you for not remembering it because I wouldn't remember it had I not had the match card directly in front of me.
True.
It's funny, going by the official Wikipedia card for the pay-per-view, they're advertising the Undertaker tag match as no holds barred.
Right.
Yet the Seth and Becky versus Idiot and Stupid as Extreme Rules match. So I don't know what the difference is. But
we do have an Extreme Rules match. So we have one.
I guess there is, yeah.
Don't forget
Extreme Rules different from no holds barred.
I think it's just marketing. It's literally just marketing. I mean, at this point, they may have well have called it like the coal miners glove match. At this point, I mean, that would have been more interesting. They don't even do those anymore. I don't think. Maybe. So. Well, basically, what we're here to do, we're going to be talking about this match card because it's all over the place, and I don't know how I feel about. Actually, I know exactly how I feel about it, but I want to know how you guys feel about it. So I guess you know what? I don't even want to start with the main event. Let's start from the bottom all the way from the bottom of the card from Curtain Jerker Island all the way up to the main event, because we already know what the main event is going to be. So let me just go ahead and accept that. But right off the bat, let's talk about your boys, the Revival and the Usos. And this is for the Raw Tag Team Championships. What is I guess let's start from the left, counterclockwise, and work our way down.
So who's that?
That'd be you, Sean. The limit break gets first blood here.
I'm on the upper right on my screen here.
Oh, I'm on the left on my screen.
Wow. Okay, so you know what? That is something I'll have to work on that because apparently it is different for all of us. So basically, I'm just gonna say limit break. You are ready to go.
All right. I'm torn on this match because part of me doesn't really care. However, it should be a good match. If they're allowed to do, what they do best, this could be a fantastic match. Yet I find myself just not really caring about it. I don't know. I'd like to think they're finally ready to do the Revival right and not just take the straps off them already. But I mean, if the Usos win, there's nothing wrong with that. They're probably the best tag team going right now. But
How dare you?
It should be a good match.
The New Day still exists.
Should be a fantastic match, but who knows, what they'll actually give us.
Let's see here. Big Boss, what you got?
So I kind of echo Sean's thoughts on this match. This should be not necessarily a dream match, but this should be a fantastic match. I think the actual match will be. When you've got the Revival, and I think they've gotten past all that crap, but when you've got the Revival doing like Ben Gay or whatever in their jock straps and rolling around the ring and all this comedy BS, it's like, what? Why are we doing this? Like, these guys are so talented. They're definitely not my favorite tag team, but I appreciate them for what they are. The Usos are the Usos. The Usos are freaking amazing. But I think in this match, it just kind of seems like it just came together. I think we know the Revival just signed a new contract around WrestleMania time, whatever it was, 5 years. Once they started getting worried about AEW and all that, which we'll definitely talk about more as this podcast goes on in the future. I just think I think the Revival retains here. And I think they will do everything they can to tear the house down. And when you don't have all the stupid booking and stuff involved in an actual match, I think this match on paper should have the ability to steal the show. I don't know that they will, but I think for me, I see the Revival retaining here.
Now, the question here, since they haven't really officially announced, I don't think, is this going to be relegated to the pre-show? Because that could go.
Oh, yeah.
This is a pre-show match.
This is totally a pre-show match, yeah.
Or is it because Cruiserweight, every other pay-per-view, it seems
there
like
are 10 matches. I've got to imagine at least 2 of these are pre-show.
Yeah, I mean,
two of these at least.
Definitely.
This,
I think this match in Cruiserweight will be pre-show.
Yeah, this definitely. If because I feel like we've already gotten was it New Day already kind of did their pre-show gig at WrestleMania or whatever, those pay-per-view before that or whatever. I think it's about time maybe we put the New Day on Showcase.
Oh, yeah, I mean, they will, especially because they'll be on a match with Daniel Bryan. You don't put Daniel Bryan on the pre-show.
No, he does
wasn't
not.
He on the last pre-show?
I think he was, actually.
in like a SmackDown tag.
It was a Stomping Grounds?
Was he really?
Yeah, involving the SmackDown Tag Champs, but they didn't
But
even.
not for the
It
title.
wasn't even for the title. Like,
And it was against the New Day.
No. It was against Heavy Machinery, and it was during the. It was during the regular.
No. It was before Stomping Ground. It was WrestleMania.
Okay.
It was. I think it was WrestleMania. Is when they had their match.
because D-Bry lost to Kofi. It was the one after WrestleMania, whatever that was. Okay. They were definitely on the pre-show because I remember saying
Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank. That's what it was. It was Money in the Bank. So there you go. I guess. Well, while we're here, the Architect, Nick.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we're gonna all kind of like echo the same sentiment as far as like we want to care about this match. This match is gonna be a lot of fun, but most likely, as we talked about, will be on the pre-show, and ultimately, it's hard to care about a Raw tag team title match when you don't see them on television every week. They don't get the time that they deserve and things like that. So, I mean, I'm gonna go with the Revival as well. As much as the Usos can always. It never hurts for the Usos to, have those straps around their waist, but at the same time, I mean, why take it from the Revival when you've given them that contract extension? You're trying to show them, and I think Ernie, you say it all the time, how all this contract extension, all that stuff that kind of gave them free advertising, right? I mean, so there's no reason to back off of them now and just continue this feud closer to SummerSlam and actually kind of highlight them.
Right. That's I mean, and I guess my little 2 cents here is just going to be the fact that I don't care about this match. I really don't. I don't care in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And 2 of my favorite tag teams in wrestling right now are involved in this match. I couldn't care less. I don't care about the Raw Tag Team Championships. I don't even care about, we'll get to the SmackDown Tag Team Champions in a little bit. I don't care about any of the tag team belts because WWE clearly does not. So if they don't care, I'm not going to care either. And this is a pre-show match. This is literally a pre-show match.
Just going off, like you said, like WWE not caring, are we going another pay-per-view or special event or whatever they call it nowadays, but like another big time thing without the women's tag team title being on the line. I mean, we saw something kind of like teased in SmackDown with Asuka and Kairi Sane, but it was basically Paige doing the actual physical assault, not even the tag team. And it's again like,
and Paige is supposed to be retired.
right, and she's throwing hands in the tag team. The people who are actually being like physical in the ring aren't. So where is that tag team match? I mean, it just doesn't make sense. Like, how can you not care about this?
Until WWE cares about their, I don't care whether it's the Raw, the SmackDown, the women's, whatever. I don't care. Until Vince McMahon himself gives a damn about any of it, I don't.
And not to sound shallow about this either, but you've just got this movement going on with the U.S. Women's World Cup team winning the World Cup, and you would think it'd be kind of almost perfect to kind of like ride the coattails of women empowerment, right? So like, why not? Like, why not put a focal point on the women's tag team titles? Just because, I mean, just ride the coattails. Why not? I mean, marketing, right?
Because Vince.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I mean, obviously, I agree. But it's just so silly to not allow like your marketing team to somehow make that their own. I don't know.
I will say this much. We are already putting too much respect on this match. Because this match is standing as it is. I am done with it. We are moving on to real wrestling. Probably the best match. This is probably going to be the match that's going to walk away. Match of the night. Easily. I can see it happening. Is Aleister Black versus Cesaro. Cold match. This is a cold match. There is no rivalry. It's literally been how many weeks of Aleister Black sitting, staring at a camera, begging for someone to come fight him, which I find really, okay, first off, I just want to say right now, that's bad booking, because you have this man literally hiding in a boiler room, asking for people to come run his fade, and my problem with that is, if he's that big and bad, if you want me to believe, and I do believe, if you want me to believe that the Dutch Destroyer, Aleister Black, is this big and bad, well, why isn't he? Yeah, why is he not just, okay, first off, Samoa Joe, why doesn't he just pull up on Samoa Joe and fade to black? Why does he not walk up on Randy Orton? Fade to black. Give me the book. That's all I'm saying. Just give me the damn book. I'll book this. I can book Aleister Black better than anyone. I don't care if it's Kevin Dunn. I don't care if it's Vince. I don't care if it's Bruce Pritchard, Eric Bischoff, Paul Heyman. I can book him better than any of them. Just call me.
Well, it's just so weird too. Like, I mean, the way that him and Ricochet were coming off such amazing heat from when they were as a tag team, and then when they did the split, it's like, all right, Ricochet's getting his time in the light, but I don't know if it's because Aleister went on his honeymoon or whatever with Selena Vega, so like he kind of cooled down, so they had to find a way to write him into it. But still, yeah, you're right. I mean, he could literally just walk up to anybody and, like you said, hit that black mask and like, all right, we're here to fight.
Mm-hmm. Done. That's how it should be, easily. That this match is open and shut. This is how you book. Whether he's supposed to be. And okay, first off, I just want to say something. Who is the baby face and who is the heel in all this?
I mean, I think Black is definitely the face.
Okay, he's the face. So Cesaro's the heel. You know what? Never mind. Anyway, you know what? Big Boss, your thoughts.
So you could say who's the face, who's the heel for a lot of things in WWE right now. Mm-hmm. The funny thing for me is I'm not as big into NXT as a couple of y'all are. Mm-hmm. So when they brought up Ricochet and Aleister Black, Ricochet, immediately I was like, this guy's the truth. This guy's absolutely ridiculous. Mm-hmm. But just throwing him in with Aleister Black as a tag team, I was like, I don't get this booking. I don't see how this makes sense. It's just two NXT guys who put him in a tag team. I wanted them to split up, but then ever since they split them up, Ricochet has gone this way, and Aleister Black for me has gone way this way. Like, it's probably no fault of his own, but all these backstage segments, like he's Goldust or he's what the hell, Mojo talking in the mirror with his cool, like, ooh, I'm Mike Tyson thing, whatever. Like it's doing a disservice to him completely. All
Oh,
that being
very.
said, as much as I love Cesaro, there's no way Cesaro's winning this match. This is Aleister Black all the way. This is his first, like, big time, as far as I know, big time WWE pay-per-view singles match. I think they're going to hoss it up, but Aleister Black is winning this match.
Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah.
I guess, and for my money on that one too, yeah, this Black goes over. Cesaro is just playing gatekeeper here. That's really all it is.
Yep.
He's for all intents and purposes, he's doing the job. Let's see. So Limit Break, what you got?
Again, kind of going with you guys. Looking forward to this match. It's another one that should be good. Who knows what we'll actually get out of it, but I agree. The way they've been booking this, there's no way they're not putting Aleister Black over. And not to take anything away from him, I love that dude. I think this whole thing saying he's the next Undertaker or whatever, that's a little ridiculous. But
Yeah,
dude's got a great future ahead of him in the WWE. So again, not to take anything away from him, it just sucks that it's so obvious that they're basically just feeding Cesaro to him, a dude that by all
Rips his
rights
ass off.
could or should be WWE or Universal Champion right now. Like, what are you doing with this guy?
Right.
And you can tell he's just cannon fodder here. So that kind of sucks, but I do think it'll be a good match.
Agreed.
Yep.
Nick, did you say one way?
Yeah, I mean, I think I kind of like tipped my hand when we first started talking about him, and I definitely think that it's gonna be Aleister Black.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a fun match, maybe 6 to 7 minutes, and then Cesaro's gonna fade.
Oh yeah, no, easily. I guess you know what? Since we're already talking about NXT call-ups, let's go ahead and talk about the next one. Let's talk about your boy pew 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 Ricochet, the United States champion, versus your boy AJ Styles. And he will probably have the club at ringside with him, most likely, because that's just how this works. So the setup on this match, it's not been horrible. Of all the things they could have booked, this is, or everything they have booked, it's probably not the worst thing in the world.
This was actually booked pretty decently. I would say.
Yeah. I mean,
they started off good with the whole, hey, give me the too sweet, and he's like, oh yeah. And then the club kind of basically like trying to exert their dominance over Ricochet and all this other stuff. It's typical. It's a Bullet Club. It's very New Japan Pro booking scenario here. But I'm gonna go ahead and say it right now. I don't think AJ's going over on this one. I'm pretty sure even if AJ does one up Ricochet, I think the club is something's gonna happen. The club is they're not walking away with that belt. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, there's no way.
New contracts or whatever, I don't care. They're not walking away with the belt. Ricochet is probably gonna go over because they want to keep him strong. That being said, this is probably the second contender for what could possibly be match of the night. I guess. What you got? What you got?
I was just saying, I just worry that they've done this match 2 or 3 times now on Raw, right?
Yeah, they have.
So I guess I'm worried. I still think it's gonna be a fun match, but what are we gonna see different than other than I guess maybe like a more aggressive AJ Styles?
Right. Well.
We're not really going to see anything different as far as moveset or storytelling wise at this moment, other than, like I said, the more aggressive AJ Styles, which will be fun because AJ Styles always throwing in his little heel tactics when he is a heel is fun to watch. But that being said, I mean, it's a match we've seen 2 or 3 times now.
Bullet Club AJ is probably my favorite AJ because he's kind of a jerk. Which is actually what I think he should be doing. He should be exerting his dominance. But I guess who do you think's going over? I guess do you think who do you think's winning this one? You said what, Ricochet? Ricochet, so you got your money on? Okay.
I mean, there's no reason to take the belt off of Ricochet. Now, maybe that happens at SummerSlam to continue the feud going down the line, but not in Extreme Rules. This is not where Ricochet loses because most likely it's going to end in a DQ.
Okay. Limit Break. What you got?
Yeah, another one that could or should be match of the night. I think Ricochet retains. It just seems like they've been playing hot potato with the U.S. title basically. Seems like all year really at this point. So I think it's a good match. I'm glad AJ is heel AJ again. I think that's, like you said, Ernie, I think that's when he does his best work. Is SummerSlam next pay-per-view?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, SummerSlam should be next.
In between? Okay. It just happens to fall on someone's birthday.
Who's that?
Just saying.
I mean, just an architect somewhere around the city.
Seth?
Look. Seth as soon as he's shooting on Will Ospreay.
So I do think that Ricochet retains. I think they've got something good going here. What I want to see, keep it going to SummerSlam. Give us AJ, Ricochet, in a ladder match. Echoes HBK and Razor at SummerSlam. Give us a quality ladder match, a good one-on-one ladder match. I love Money in the Bank matches, but when was the last time we just had a one-on-one ladder match?
Oh God,
I couldn't tell you.
What jumps out to me is Cena and Orton for the unification match like 4 years ago. That can't be the last one, but that's the first one that jumps to my mind.
Yeah, that's a one-on-one ladder match is the only way this should because it's got to escalate. It's got to escalate. So yeah, give me a one-on-one ladder match, and then if it goes past that, maybe do something else. But yeah, it should definitely be a ladder match.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say Ricochet retains, and I'll say it now. I'll say match of the night, Ricochet retains, and to go one further, feud continues on to SummerSlam. I'll say AJ beats him there in a ladder match for the title.
Let's see, Big Boss, what you got?
So this is the match. This is, for me, this is the one match on this card as I'm looking at it that is can't miss. Or I don't want to miss, I should say. I kind of agree with what y'all were saying. I'm glad AJ got his face run. I think he earned that. I think he earned those 2 WWE title runs. But it's good to see him being a heel again as well. I just wish he didn't have the mom hair still. In my mind, I wish he would go back to TNA AJ with the buzz cut and everything, but that's never going to happen again. I think Ricochet is retaining, however, kind of what Nick was saying. This has the club in a schmoz finish written all over it.
Yeah.
I think they tear the house down, then they have a DQ finish where the club runs in and they mess them up. The one thing I do wonder with all, is Finn? First off, where's Finn?
I was wondering that. I thought we were getting a Finn versus Shinsuke at this pay-per-view.
That's what I thought.
That happened on SmackDown.
But I thought they were doing the whole thing. Shinsuke pinned him, so now they're going to fight. Actually,
I mean, they made try to find a way to sprinkle that in.
They might add it to the card, kind of like what they did this. I think it's Stomping Grounds. I think they added a match at the last second. Yeah. So yeah, I could see that. I could honestly see that happening again.
I would love to see. I don't think Finn should turn heel, but I think it would be really freaking cool if you have the club spanning Raw and SmackDown. Also, it just makes me wonder how much would WWE have to pay to just buy the name Bullet Club? They probably wouldn't because it says Bullet, but the club. I've always hated that name. Whenever this started 2 or 3 years ago with AJ and the Good Brothers, I hate the name, the club. I gotta feel like there's something better they could have done with that. But I definitely now that Sean said ladder match at SummerSlam, if that doesn't happen, I'm going to be supremely disappointed.
Don't hold your breath.
Ricochet is definitely retaining here, and I think it will be via DQ with Gallows and Anderson interfering.
Yeah. I looked it up real quick, and I didn't do the greatest amount of research, but the last time that singles match was a ladder match was Tables, Ladders, and Chairs 2016 Miz and Dolph Ziggler for the IC title.
Oh, wow.
almost 3 years. That's
yeah,
insane.
that's still not good.
No.
I guess real quick, I do want to say before we move on, Finn Balor. I don't necessarily ever want to see him turn heel, but I do miss Prince Devitt.
Yes.
I would not mind if just even on a temporary basis, Finn Balor just said, you know what? Time to get ugly in here.
Yeah, I mean, if his moveset just got a little bit more like aggressive than it already is, just kind of pump, just like kind of, raise the violence just a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I guess let's go ahead and jump on to the next one, and this is a match that I forgot was happening. And that is your boy Braun Strowman, who cannot seem to catch a break when it comes to winning a title. The man who is forever chasing a title versus Captain Charisma himself, Bobby Lashley. Lashley. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. Anyway, this is a last man standing match, and my God, I feel like they already had this match on Raw. I don't know
50
why.
times.
Yeah, they've had this match on Raw. I don't need to see it again. I have nothing for this match. You know what? At this point, I know Braun, I think, is injured, maybe, so he's probably going to lose, so Bobby's probably going to win. This match it's garbage. This is a garbage match. I should care about this. I should, because you got two of your big men in a last man standing match. But here's the thing about big men. They usually don't have good cardio. So
they don't work well together, right? You got to have them in there with somebody that can go and can sell their offense and everything. But these two guys, this feud is just, my God. I'm going to pick Braun. I just don't even care. I hope Braun gets back in the good graces and gets back into the title picture. And I think if they somehow do this match right, that might be the Kickstarter for it. But yeah, this is my pee break match for sure.
Damn! Limit break, what you got?
I'm going Strowman here, and I'm going Strowman in a squash. I think this is a quick 1 to 2 minute match. I think Strowman just destroys him. I don't see how Lashley keeps him down. I mean, he's obviously a big dude, but I just can't picture, unless they do some weird Rock and Mankind thing where Lashley drops a forklift on him so he can't get up, like something like that. But other than that, how you keep Strowman from getting up, I don't know. I see Strowman winning for sure, and it wouldn't shock me if it was an outright squash.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, actually, Sean took my idea just because, I mean, on Raw this past week, normally go home show winner loses on the pay-per-view. So
true, yeah, that's true.
Lashley came out and squashed Rey Mysterio.
Damn.
Which literally happened in 45 seconds. So
welcome back, Ray.
Yeah, thanks for, what was the point of that? I guess, to show viewers that, Lashley's so big and bad that he can squash Rey Mysterio at 55 years old or whatever. So, I mean, where the actual, threshold for that is, who knows? But, yeah, I actually think it's going to be a 2-minute match and Braun goes over.
Okay.
Hopefully.
I mean, hey, like I said, because this is the pee break match. I guess let's go ahead and talk about the other match that people probably relegate for pee breaks, because WWE treats them like one. And they're usually taking a piss on them, and that's the Cruiserweight Championship, which is a shame because Drew Gulak is out here just putting on a clinic, putting on a wrestling clinic. The man is probably one of the best technical chain wrestlers since Dean Malenko.
Whoa.
And this guy is just getting crapped on regularly. So now he's Cruiserweight champ, and he's up against Tony Nese because reasons. And yeah, this is the Cruiserweight Championship. It's probably going to be on the pre-show. It's probably on the pre-show. If they don't put it there, they'll put it somewhere in the middle, probably in a spot where no one's going to care. But I'm going to go ahead and say Drew Gulak he's going to keep the strap.
I agree.
I concur.
I mean, is it me? Am I wrong? Am I wrong for not caring about the Cruiserweight division because WWE doesn't?
Well,
they don't make us care. That's the thing.
Right. Do they want us to care?
nothing to make us care about this division at all. Ever since they brought it back, it's like ever since they went from every match has to have the purple ropes and all this other stuff, and it's just like I do not care at all. I do not care at all. It's cool that they've got 205 Live, but I think at this point they're doing the cruiserweights a disservice by having them have their own show.
Mm-hmm.
But they have given me zero reason to care about any cruiserweight championship match for the longest time, honestly. Buddy Murphy's awesome.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll do something on SmackDown now. It seems like he's going to get a little bit of a push, but like for this match, I don't care at all.
No, I mean it's like we talked about in our text thread of the last AEW show. Like if you're the 205 Live and you're watching AEW, you're like, shit, I need to be over there.
Yeah, no, it's true. Cruiserweights. I remember a time back in the '90s, WCW. There were wrestlers, there were main eventers who legitimately hated the idea of the cruiserweights going on first because they didn't want to have to follow those matches because the cruiserweights were putting on dude. They opened WCW Nitro almost, I think, in a calendar year, at least 10 times out of 52. They opened with Rey Mysterio versus Dean Malenko because it was that good.
And the other 42 times were a Hollywood Hogan promo for 20 minutes.
Yeah. And we all see how that worked out. I guess, you know what, let's go ahead and talk about something else that I'm pretty sure all of us are going to be on the same... I think we're all going to be pretty much the same boat on this one. At least I hope so. Daniel Bryan and Rowan, who at this point in time are the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. And you got them up against the New Day and Heavy Machinery. Who, I mean, I love them in NXT, but at this point,
they showed out in the last pay-per-view. I mean, they really gave those guys some time. Mm-hmm. And if you didn't watch it, you should go back and watch it because they actually were able to put on quite of a show. It was really impressive because I saw a few matches. I didn't follow them that well in NXT. As much as I follow NXT, I just happened to, for some reason, just never care about them.
They didn't wrestle as much as people would believe.
Right, exactly. But they were able to put on a hell of a show in the last pay-per-view. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Like I said, they're a solid tag team. They're a solid tag team.
They are.
It's just you got to give me something. You got to give me something. And at this point, it's like, okay, you got a veteran tag team versus a tag team with a main eventer in it, and I'm talking about Daniel Bryan and Rowan in this particular case. You got the New Day, who are the veterans. They have won the tag team championships. I think the only people who have had the tag team straps currently working in WWE right now more than them is probably the Usos. And then Heavy Machinery, who they're a good tag team, but people, does anyone feel like the crowd is behind them in any way, shape, form, or fashion?
I think so.
Okay.
I think, especially when the shorter, stockier fella gets going.
Dozovich.
Yeah, once he really starts going and he busts out the worm with the elbow drop and stuff. I think they call it the earthworm
Caterpillar
or something. Caterpillar. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So
because Heavy Machinery.
Right. Exactly. But I think the crowd can get behind them. Before we're gonna jump into this, though, can I give you my conspiracy theory?
Oh, you have a conspiracy theory.
I do.
I'm here for it.
I do.
I'll allow it.
So every singles title currently right now, if fact check me, but I'm pretty sure is held by a babyface. Every single tag title is held by a heel team.
Okay, tell you what, I will not count. I will. The only hole I can poke in your logic is Drew Gulak. But the thing is, he's technically cruiser. 205 Live is WWE adjacent, so it's kind of like it will continue.
No, you do have a solid point. But either way, anyways,
babyfaces do have all the singles titles right now.
Right,
you are correct about that.
So I'm thinking, I actually think New Day is going to win this match. Oh. Because I think come SummerSlam, we're going to see a pretty seismic shift in title changes by the fact of because a lot of faces are going to go into the SummerSlam holding the titles, whether that be still continuously with the singles titles. But I really think come SummerSlam, we're going to see a lot of heels win titles.
I can see that. Because I mean,
There's
technically,
like a small
SummerSlam is when
conspiracy theory.
SummerSlam is when you officially kick off the road.
Right, yeah.
I mean, technically
you know,
it's in Royal Rumble, but I mean, I always feel like SummerSlam is when you're legitimately working.
you're starting to build a bit like towards the next year, yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, because it's 6 months out from Royal Rumble and then move into WrestleMania season.
And this whole WrestleMania to SummerSlam period always just seems like it's just this weird.
Right, I think that because
No, you're right.
WrestleMania gives us
whatever you want to call it, something always starts at SummerSlam.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you think about it, WrestleMania, we get the happy go home moments like we always get every single year. And then SummerSlam kind of shifts that paradigm into heels really kind of taking over to kind of take us into the end of the year to give us something to really root for towards to WrestleMania season.
Miz and Shane, case in point. SummerSlam to WrestleMania.
Right.
Sort of. I guess.
So I'll go New Day.
You're a New Day. Okay. Big Boss.
So I think the crowd, to answer your earlier question, I think the crowd is behind half of Heavy Machinery. I don't think they're behind the whole team.
They're with Otis Dozovich. Well, I'm sorry, he doesn't have a first. They don't have first names anymore. They're with Dozovich, not with Knight, not with Tucker Knight.
You could say the same thing about Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Where's Luke Harper?
Being held hostage.
Yeah, he's being held at gunpoint because he wanted out, and they are leaving him off TV. They're going to freeze his contract, and I guarantee you, they'll let him go, but they'll let him go because they've already added extra months on his contract for the time he was injured, so he will be released when he is 40.
In a perfect world, what I would love is would be for the Bryan family to be a thing. And like, I would love to see New Day win it. But I think we're just going to get the status quo in this match. I would love if that was for some reason Luke Harper comes out and wins the match for them. I would freaking love that. I think that would, I think Daniel Bryan's he was still on a high after WrestleMania. Well, no, he was hurt after WrestleMania, but then when he came back against Kofi and everything, but now it's just like, well, you're not in the WWE title picture anymore, so here, take SmackDown tag titles. Nobody cares anyways. I would love for Harper to come back because of what y'all just said. He's not. We know he's not, and it sucks because that guy is so talented. But I think we're just going to get the status quo here. I think Bryan and the planet's other warrior retain here.
Rowan, the man who wears every heavy metal band t-shirt that I would love to own, but I do not like him just the same. That is who Rowan is to me. I'm like, oh, he's wearing an Opeth t-shirt. Still don't like him.
And the thing is, out of that tag team, the Stupid Bludgeon Brothers, I would care way more about this tag team if it was Harper in Rowan's place, I guess is what it comes down to.
1,000%. 1,000% with you on that one. Limit break. Sean, what's going on?
So when we first got to this match, I'm thinking basically everything that Kevin just said, that status quo, Daniel Bryan and Rowan retain, just because somewhere along the way, I've somehow convinced myself, because it's a triple threat and they always do some kind of weird wonky finish, and to me that seems like the perfect way to get the belts off of Daniel Bryan without causing him too much harm. I'm going to say Heavy Machinery wins by pinning New Day somehow. New Day, it just doesn't seem like Kofi's got his thing going on. And just kind of by virtue of that, the entire New Day is therefore also just kind of always floating around the main event picture. I don't think they need the titles. It just seems like they're almost like the default tag team. We don't know what else to do with the tag team titles. I don't know, put them back on the New Day, whatever. So I don't see them winning it, but I don't know. I'm thinking somehow Heavy Machinery takes this by pinning New Day somehow, not Brian and Rowan.
So I'm kind of refreshed to hear you say that, because I was kind of thinking along the same lines that at some point in this match, I think Heavy Machinery will go over. But because I think the more interesting feud is Big E and Xavier Woods versus Heavy Machinery. Like, I'm kind of over Daniel Bryan and the New Day, because we've already had that, and they ran it into the ground right up until WrestleMania. Give me Heavy Machinery and New Day, and I know because of the rules of WWE, someone's going to have to go face, someone's going to have to go heel. I figure it's way easier to just let people not give a crap about Tucker Knight in Heavy Machinery, and just let the fans still cheer for Dozovich, but and then cheer the New Day, whatever. But yeah, that's just how I feel about that. I guess while we're here, you know what? Let's talk about, screw it. I'll skip one. Let's go to Kofi Kingston, the WWE champion, versus the man who I am certain knows where all the bodies are buried, Samoa Joe. Now, I'm just going to say it right now. I know Kofi's injured. He's got a back injury. I don't want Kofi to lose the belt right now, but if someone could take the belt off him and absorb the nuclear-grade heat that will come raining down like World War 27, it would be Samoa Joe. So if you're going to let it happen, why not? Because I have the sneaky suspicion this isn't like one of those injuries Kofi's just going to walk off. Especially being if this was a mid-card title like the IC or the United States strap, I'd say they'll probably let him hold on to it. But this is the main title, it's the main event title. I think this might be the time for Kofi to lose. Maybe. I would like to see Samoa Joe walk away with it. What's limit break? Sean, give me your thoughts.
So, literally everything you just said, I think the script is written for. I think Kofi has proven himself. I think he's past that point of being remembered as a transitional champion or anything like that. So I do think, as much as I'd like him, I think now, injury notwithstanding, I think it's time to probably move on. And like you said, Joe is the perfect guy to do it. It just kind of writes itself. However, I don't trust that the WWE knows what they're doing with Joe, and just having him
that's the truth.
punked by AJ time after time after time after time.
Hey, Wendy.
And no disrespect to Ricochet, but then having Ricochet go over him, and the whole thing with Ray where they just keep trading victory. It just seems like they just don't know what to do with him. I think his closest shot, like when he fought Brock at Great Balls of Fire, like that was when I'm like, man, Joe could win this. I think this is it.
I tell you what,
and it's kind of been downhill ever since then. It's like they threw him a bone by just saying, here, take the U.S. title for a little bit. But it almost makes too much sense for Joe to win. And if I had any faith in Vince doing the quote-unquote right thing, what makes sense, Joe's a shoo-in here, but I don't have that faith. And I think Kofi retains, loses it to who knows, maybe Joe come SummerSlam, but I think Kofi's going to take it into SummerSlam.
I got a sneaky suspicion here. Samoa Joe has lost to many a roll-up. Like a roll-up pin. Like, I've noticed that lately. Most of his losses lately are to roll-up pins. And that is, that's actually very alarming. Now that you've pointed that out to me, I'm kind of rethinking my thoughts. But, Big Boss, what you got for me?
So Sean kind of stole my thunder, but as awesome as it was when Kofi won the title at Mania, and the build up to that was one of the best things they've done since Daniel Bryan winning at WrestleMania 30.
Yeah, they actually handled it better than the women's match.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Don't even get me started on that. And Ronda freaking giving Alexa
God.
2 concussions. Ever since then, there has not been a single time where I actually thought Kofi was in danger of losing the title. If I thought, to bring current events into this, if I thought that Bischoff was actually in control now, I know he's still going to report to Vince and everything. But if I thought Bischoff was actually the one in control right now, which he's not, it seems like they're kind of going to tread water until they get to October when they go to Fox. But the fact that Vince is still the end-all be-all on SmackDown, I think there's zero chance that Joe wins this match. Now, if he gets a rematch at SummerSlam or something, then maybe things start to feel different for me. But the way they've done this, I've never thought Kofi was in danger of losing the title, which kind of takes away from his title reign a little bit for me. But yeah, should Joe win the WWE title at some point? Absolutely, he should. Do I believe for a second that Vince is going to let him do that? No, but I don't know if it's that he's a TNA guy, but then again, AJ's had 2 or 3 reigns now, whatever it was. Yeah. But it just seems like they want to just let Joe get so close to that brass ring and then just rip it away from him before he can grab it. So I think I'm definitely going Kofi here. If they do this match again at SummerSlam, maybe it's a different result. But for me, this is Kofi in this match for sure.
Okay. The architect himself, Nick, what you got?
I don't think there's a chance that Samoa Joe wins this match. I don't think that. I mean, I disagree with the fact that I think it's like, even if whoever it was, I don't care who Kofi's facing, I don't think it's his time to lose that strap anytime soon. Unless something happens with Brock Lesnar, I really think that Kofi might take this.
Oh my God!
I almost forgot about that. Yeah, Brock. Paul Heyman. Thank you for bringing that up, Nick. Paul Heyman has said that Brock Lesnar will cash in at Extreme Rules either on Kofi or Seth Rollins. So
yeah, I don't know. I still think that Brock doesn't even show up.
He's not going to show up. He won't be anywhere near Extreme Rules.
I just have this like sneaky suspicion feeling that they're going to keep that title reign on Kofi even into next year. Just because I think that they see like what's going on and what's happening and like how the culture is kind of evolving around him.
Okay.
They want to make it into like a record book type of deal for Kofi.
Okay, you think they're legitimately going to book him that strong?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm here for it. I want this to be a thing.
Right.
I just don't have faith in Vince. Like if Triple H had the book, I would believe it. I would be like, he's going to do it.
And I would normally agree with you. The only thing that kind of makes me feel that difference is like they did it for New Day.
That is true.
You know, they allowed the New Day to be the longest tag team champions of all time. So
true.
Not that like, and I guess maybe that's what I'm pulling from, which is a very, very, very thin thread to pull from. But that being said, like I couldn't see, like I wouldn't be surprised if they do it.
Okay.
Just because of all this attention that's Kofi getting and the New Day and all the merch they're selling and the full fucking 9, excuse me. But like, you know, I can see him going into next year with the strap, like losing at Royal Rumble or something, unless it comes down to Brock.
That is true. I can ride with that.
And I just don't see. I love Samoa Joe, but just like you're saying, like they haven't built him this way. Like I don't see him being a main title holder right now. Like he's still very much a mid-card title holder, and this is just giving another big guy who's destroying people. And him losing to Ricochet, I think, is another like perfect reason why he's not winning this match.
Yeah, like I said, man, he's taking too many roll-ups, man. He's taking too many. He is eating a lot of roll-up pins, and I don't appreciate it.
The only other thing I want to say real quick.
Go ahead.
So it's what this makes me think of is it's tough when you get a underdog that finally wins the world title. How to keep that, because the whole thing is the chase. That's why Daniel Bryan leading up to WrestleMania 30 was so awesome, because he got pedigreed back at SummerSlam. Triple H handed the belt to Orton, and he RKO'd him, and he got the belt, and then he got screwed over by Shawn. He got screwed over by this guy and that guy, all the way up. Then he finally won it. And then it's like, yeah, well, but now what? And then his first feud is with freaking Kane, and then he hurt his neck again and everything, and we know how all that went.
Oh yeah.
But it's like when you've got a champion that's one of those underdog champions, it's tough once they climb that mountain to make it still feel as epic. And I guess that's kind of what I was trying to say earlier, is that nothing has felt as epic as the chase going up against Daniel Bryan. Like, I haven't thought that he was actually in danger of losing that title ever since WrestleMania. So
right, and I think that's why they've been like building him with guys like Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Dolph Ziggler, now Samoa Joe. You know, kind of guys that maybe outside of Sami Zayn that like kind of top his weight class and who could seem like viable opponents. But the problem is those big names, quote unquote, were just too early. The Dolph one wasn't the first Dolph match. The Saudi Arabian match, correct?
Yeah, Saudi Arabia.
So like, you know, that's not going to happen. So you kind of already tipped your hand on that one because the title's not changing over there.
And Kevin Owens seemed like they kind of rushed that heel turn.
Well, it's because I think it's because Big E got hurt, so that's why they rushed that kind of too quickly. And then Sami Zayn is now back into like a world of purgatory. I don't know, but you know. That's why I think it's building to maybe even a Kofi versus Brock type of match towards SummerSlam. I don't know.
I hope not, because he's got no chance.
No. I guess let's go ahead and move on over to another match that is got some dubious stuff going on here. We have a handicap match for the SmackDown Women's Championship with Bayley and going against Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Now, I'm going to be brutally honest here. I love Bayley to death. I love Alexa Bliss to death. I love Nikki Cross to death. But I feel like this should not be a handicap match. This should be a triple threat. I feel like the booking on this, which has been, for the most part, weird, but I've been okay with it. But I feel like at some point the double cross should have already happened. Or I feel like they're saving the double cross for the match, which I feel like is going to be, it almost feels, because I can go ahead and tell you right now, this is what's going to happen. Nikki Cross is going to double cross, because that's in her name. She is going to Nikki Cross. She's going to Nikki Cross Alexa Bliss. There you go. And cause they're talking this whole like co-women's champion thing. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think it's Nikki Cross I don't think Bayley's gonna lose either. But I think that at some point in this match there will be a actual falling out between Alexa and Nikki.
Well, this one feels kind of like the most unpredictable one of the matches that we have so far, because I think there's so many different like tendrils that could happen here, right? I mean, it could be the double cross like you're talking about. It could be Alexa Bliss realizing that she doesn't need Nikki, so she kind of pushes Nikki to the side or whatever, and then Nikki gets her feelings hurt. Or it could be, you know, ultimately, which I think is probably the most predictable thing, is Sasha Banks, the return of Sasha Banks.
I think Sasha Banks will show up because she's dyed her hair back.
Yeah.
While she was in Japan, her hair has been dyed back to the Sasha Banks purple that we all know. So she will likely show up. She's going to show up at the last minute.
But does Sasha Banks show up and then turn on Bayley?
I actually think that's very likely.
Kevin, you and I are speaking the same language.
Yeah.
Right?
I really, really, really hope so. I'm sick of smiley, happy Sasha Banks.
Well, because that's not who she is. I mean, that is who she is as an actual human being.
Yeah, as a person, but not as a character.
Not as a character. That she's the boss. She has made a career off betraying Bayley. Her and Bayley had some of the best matches. They literally went to war with each other in NXT.
One match of the year in 2017.
Yeah, dude, the Sasha Banks. Yeah, it was the Sasha Banks versus Bayley Iron Woman match. That match was hard freaking core. I freaking love it.
Yeah, that's great.
But yeah, at this point though, what I think is actually one of the more likely and also one of the more predictable things is Nikki Cross is, because at this point Alexa Bliss has been kind of riding Nikki Cross's coattails, which is it's kind of funny because you would think it would be the other way around, but Alexa Bliss has literally been coasting off of Nikki's success. Nikki is the reason she's even got rematches in the first place.
Right.
So I think that Nikki's going to wind up being like, oh, wait a minute, I'm better than you.
Well, also, like,
And-
how much are they using Nikki to kind of still cover up the lingering injury?
Yeah,
of
well, she's still
Alexa
ill.
Bliss?
Not only is she still injured, but she's sick.
She's sick. Yeah,
Yeah, so-
that's why I think this is happening.
Yeah.
But so also, like, but again, this could also lead into, like you were talking about, Ernie, thinking this is a triple threat match, that it being a triple threat match in SummerSlam.
Right. I think that's the build. Actually, and if Sasha Banks comes back and does the wild heel turn like what we were kind of guessing, make it a 4-way. I would much rather
100%.
see a fatal 4-way women's match for the Raw Championship than a handicap match.
Right, and then allow, and if Alexa is still lingering in an injury in August, and it's a fatal 4-way, let Sasha Banks, let Nikki Cross, and let Bayley kind of do a lot of work, and then see where Alexis is at that time.
And make it elimination. I like elimination multi-person matches. I like those. That's a lost art.
It's easy. It's easier to keep up with too.
Yes. I guess we've been kind of all over the place on this one. So I guess I'll let everybody kind of Sean, you tell me where are you at on this these shenanigans.
So if I didn't know what I do know about the backstage stuff with Alexa and her injury and all that stuff, the obvious thing here, the way this match should end, is Nikki's got the match won.
Mm-hmm.
Alexa comes in, throws her out of the way, and steals the pinfall, wins the championship. However, like everybody said, I don't think she's 100%. I don't think
she can't carry a title right now.
Yeah. I do think the Sasha Banks thing is almost too obvious. What I will say is you can have Sasha versus Bayley at SummerSlam, and you don't need to have that be for a title. That can just be just a grudge match kind of thing, and it works. But I think it will. I don't think they're putting the title on Nikki. I like Nikki a lot. I don't think she's ready for it yet. I think Bayley ends up retaining. Maybe something happens Monday night where they have some kind of rematch or something. I think Sasha maybe comes back then. It's just hard to pull off. I don't know how you do that with Sasha at the pay-per-view. Do you have her come out to even the odds, and then a few minutes later she turns around and destroys Bayley? But how do you do that while keeping the title on Bayley?
I think you can make it where Bayley, sneaks a pin, right? And then so Alexa gets pissed and wants to start kind of going in on her after the match. And then Nikki Cross is helping her going in on the match. And then, Sasha runs down to make the save. And then they clear the ring and it looks like they're going to be happy. And then, punch in the face.
Maybe, yeah. I think ultimately this has to lead to Sasha's comeback, whether it's Sunday night or Monday night or Tuesday night or God knows what. I mean, what show is Sasha on?
Raw.
It is Raw? Okay.
Yeah.
Not that means anything.
But and Sean, to your point too, like with the grudge match thing in SummerSlam, you could even, how kind of meta and fourth wall WWE's been getting recently, you can even kind of play into the whole Sasha was pouting for a while, right? And left the shows, where Bayley could even call her out on that. Like, you left me. We're supposed to be friends, and you're leaving me and having me had to fight these two women by myself because you can't get your ish together.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I can believe that. I can actually believe that very much. that would be an easy to believe storyline.
Yeah, I mean, it's written itself, right?
Yeah. Big Boss. You said?
I mean, y'all said most of the other things that I wanted to say, but I think Bayley's going to retain. I just think it's weird because typically it's Alexa Bliss that has always turned on people in the past, and I just hate that she can't just seem to get over the hump. Like, she's one of my favorite women's wrestlers of the last 5 years or so, for sure. She's awesome.
One of the best talkers in the game,
healthy.
too.
Yes, 100%.
Yes, and she's come so far on the mic too. If you look back at her, like in early NXT days, she couldn't talk at all.
Ooh, yeah,
she's awesome. But I just feel like I don't think she's going to be 100%. I think maybe she actually turns on Nikki, and then Bayley retains. I don't know if Sasha gets involved or not, but I just feel like that they made such a big deal out of Bayley winning Money in the Bank and then winning the title that I don't think it's time to take it off of her yet.
Mm. I guess this leaves us with 2 matches. And these are easily the worst. I know we've talked about how much we don't care about the other matches, but I'm gonna go say right now.
These are break matches.
Yeah, these. First off, these are just cut the damn pay-per-view off matches. Yeah. I would dare say, but as to paraphrase one of my favorite AEW wrestlers, Scorpio Sky, this has got to be the worst match any of these people have ever been in, and that is Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre in a no-holds-barred match versus the big dog, Roman Reigns, and the dead man himself, Undertaker. Apropos of nothing, this match is happening. So I'm going to go ahead and say right now, I don't care about this match. I literally, y'all remember Sunday Night Heat, right?
Oh, yeah.
This is a Heat match. This is a Sunday Night Heat match. This is a match that you would do on Sunday Night Heat to get the crowd warmed up before the actual pay-per-view. That's what this match is. I don't care about it. I'm going to go ahead and say right now, Roman Reigns, Undertaker going over, because of course they are. Nick.
Yeah, I mean, I truly think that this match was probably originally scheduled for Roman Reigns and The Miz versus Drew McIntyre and Shane, but they were like, panic button, we got to get ratings. And so then there goes Undertaker. And that's it. So, I mean, yeah, Undertaker, Roman Reigns wins, move on.
So, who the hell still wants to see The Undertaker in the squared circle at this point?
Right.
Because I sure as hell don't. I am so sick of this crap. He was already
bringing in ratings.
He was already too old when Roman should have retired him at WrestleMania 33, was it, guys? I forget.
Mm-hmm.
33 sounds right.
Yeah.
Why the hell? This poor man cannot walk. I know the match with Goldberg was just a WrestleBotch like gold mine. Oh, Goldberg was horrible, but like Undertaker damn near broke Goldberg's neck too. So it's not like this was all on Goldberg. I don't know why. What was the reason for him getting involved in this match anyways? Like, is he still
there's no reason because it's Undertaker.
I tried to explain it, but I don't remember what it was. It was
like because he fought Shane like 3 years ago in Hell in a Cell. Like, what the hell are we doing?
Well, also because there's a small rumbling that Undertaker's WrestleMania opponent next year is Drew McIntyre.
Oh, yeah.
So I know, so Undertaker said that he wanted to work with Drew. I think he wants to put Drew over. Obviously, he's not putting Drew over in this match. No. However, there's no Undertaker and Roman are winning, obviously. If Shane McMahon can win a match when he is going against, I don't care if he was paired with Jesus himself, going against Roman Reigns and The Undertaker, their booking makes no sense at all. No. I do not understand what in the hell. Like, everybody gets excited when you hear the gong. Yeah. And then after that, once he starts moving, it's like, oh my God, no, please get off my screen. This match infuriates me that it's even happening. I don't know why they won't just because I don't think this is Undertaker saying one more. Okay, one more. Okay, one more. I think this is WWE just saying, look, like
okay, Nick, one more. Okay, one more.
wait.
Exactly.
My personal favorite.
Button.
How much?
Yeah. You want 500,000 for one match? Sure. I'm making that up. I don't know what.
Here, you want some more?
It wouldn't surprise me because they know if Undertaker comes out on Raw, if you're watching, you're going to tell people, "Oh my God, turn over to Raw right now."
Right.
If you're not watching, you're going to go to YouTube the next day, and their views are going to go through the roof. And then if you're booking him in a match, it's going to make all these old wrestling fans that have lapsed maybe come back until they actually see him move. This is so stupid. And not only that, we've all bitched about this match, and we haven't really even mentioned Shane McMahon, for crying out loud. Like, Kevin Owens' pipe bomb, whatever you want to call it, was cool, but obviously it was
a work.
It's always scripted.
Yeah. It's a way to put Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon in a feud so that they can write Shane McMahon off television rather than just write him off television.
Right.
But just write him off television. Like this man, again, just like I said about The Undertaker, he was already too old when he fought The Undertaker 3 years ago at WrestleMania. Why? The fact that when I really started to sour on WWE, even though I didn't care at all about the pay-per-view, but the whole best in the world thing.
Oh God.
Like he pinned Ziggler clean, I think, right? Because
Yeah, it was Ziggler.
And then he just subs himself in and wins it. And now like I am so sick of I used to love Shane McMahon, the character.
Yeah.
And I loved him wrestling back in the day, like SummerSlam 99, him against Test. I know I'm going way back in the Wayback Machine. But he used to have some, and his feud with, I think it was X-Pac and Kane and stuff. He had some good, really good feuds.
Kurt Angle. He had some good feuds with Kurt Angle.
Oh my God, Kurt threw him off the freaking, he threw him through the glass. He went off the Titantron. I loved Shane back then. At this point, he's a 49-year-old man who sweats just thinking about walking to the ring. This match should not.
In his defense, so do I.
I mean,
but you're not 49
yet.
You're also not wrestling.
Yeah.
These are things. These are things.
So yeah, I'm going Undertaker and Roman. Get this crap off my TV in 5. It'll take Undertaker longer to walk to the ring than this match will be. I hope at least.
I hope so.
Get this off my TV as quickly.
Dude, I'm telling y'all, this is a 25-minute match.
I'm
telling you because this is going to be a lot of Roman and Drew back and forth. A lot of Roman on his back.
Oh God.
A lot of like quick hot tags with Shane to pop in and out. Taker will get the hot tag at the end. Set Roman up for a spear, game over. But I'm telling you, it's going to be a 25-minute match. Tops.
Yes. I don't want it. That's all I can say. I don't want it. I guess, Sean, what you got?
I don't care.
We are all defeated.
These last two matches are beating me down.
The one thing I will say, how not to make light of it by any means, but you have Roman coming back from freaking cancer. He should be.
He won an award.
Doing whatever he wants in this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's an ESPY.
Like, you finally got the chance for people to cheer for him, and you've got him drowning in this feud and losing to Shane McMahon.
On a regular. Yeah,
like, what are you doing? I don't know. I don't care. But yeah, I mean, Roman and Undertaker winning, and
right, like how backwards is that? Like Roman comes back, of course he's going to beat Drew at WrestleMania. Sure, that's great, but he's got 2 clean wins over Drew, but somehow Shane McMahon has a clean win over Roman Reigns. That makes no freaking sense. And like, of course it's WWE, so there's no freaking logic.
Wait a minute, he squashed Drew at WrestleMania, didn't he?
I mean,
he didn't squash him, but
essentially,
as close to a squash as Drew McIntyre.
It was a 10-minute match, maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, it was definitely mostly Roman. Roman was putting out the majority of the offense.
And then Roman's got a clean win on him on Raw.
I'm done with this whole program. I'm done.
And
with
who's
going to
take the pin? Drew's going to probably take the pin.
Oh yeah, Drew's going to take the pin because Shane can't possibly eat a pin right now.
No.
I mean, he's the best in the world. There you go.
Anyway, you know what? We have put too much respect on this particular match on the card. Let's just you know what? Just put it to bed. Let's just put it to bed. We are going to talk about what is also probably if not for this match, I take that back. Maybe this is the worst match of the night, and that is, oh my God, Seth Rollins, the Universal Champion, and Becky Lynch, the Raw Women's Champion, versus Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans. Garbage booking at its, should I say finest or worst? I don't know. But the thing is,
yes.
Yeah, it's like, it's both of them. It's both of them. My problem here, and I just want to go ahead and say this real quick, is that we now have Baron Corbin, who has come to the well multiple times now for the Universal Championship and has been found wanting. We have Lacey Evans, who has now lost how many straight matches to Becky Lynch for the Women's Championship? She's lost 2 now, back to back, and somehow she's still number 1 contender in an era where the fans are supposed to be the authority and no more automatic rematches. I'm just saying, I have to hold WWE accountable. I have to hold them accountable.
I agree.
But the thing is, why? Why is Lacey Evans, who is so far proven that the only thing she can sell is how awful she is? And it hurts me because I originally liked Lacey Evans in NXT, but when she got called up, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it just was it just what happened?
Too soon, I guess. I don't know, but
well, and then she's automatically in the title picture. She's automatically in the title picture versus first off, this is missed booking. What should have happened is you should have called up Shayna Baszler, who is long overdue for a call-up. The woman is almost 40, for Christ's sakes, and has not been called up. What are you doing?
Yeah, I don't understand that.
But I just want to go ahead and say right now, the stipulation on this match, this is what makes this match extreme, is the fact that if Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans win this match, they become, respectively, Universal Champion and Raw Women's Champion. But should they lose, they can't challenge for either belt again. Now, with that stipulation in mind, who do you think is going to win? Because I could go ahead and tell you that they're not going to tell Baron Corbin he can't have another title shot, and they're going to keep feeding Lacey Evans title shots until doomsday. Screw this match. Anyways, Baron Corbin, Lacey Evans, just to get the belt off of, I'm done. I can't even talk straight. Anyway, I'm just going to say they're going to win. I'm just going to say they're going to win.
Wait, you're picking Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans?
I don't want them to win.
But that's what your pick is?
That's what my pick is, because I just have the sneaky suspicion they're going to pull some shenanigans, because they've been just dragging this in the ground, because who else are they going to put Seth Rollins and Lacey, or not Seth Rollins, but Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch up against at this point? I mean, I don't know. Maybe they will win. I don't know. I'm just frustrated with this whole match. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I think this is the dumbest, and this is going to be the main event. I guarantee you this is the main event.
Oh, 100%.
And somehow, this is a match. Somehow, Vince looked at this and said, "Oh, this is good shit.
Lots of beef."
Yeah, you see Baron Corbin there? Look at him. The guy's got beef.
Okay,
look at him.
So I have some thoughts. I'm picking Rollins and Becky.
Mm-hmm.
However, I am scared to death that it is going to be Baron and Lacey.
You see, Sean sees what I see.
Yes, and this whole thing about, and I never know what to believe and what not to believe, but how Vince wants to push Baron Corbin, A, already ridiculous, B, because he's good looking. Did you
what?
This?
Yeah, they said women find Baron Corbin sexy.
So Vince wants to push him because of that. So, and this, to me, I'm having flashbacks to, what was it, 2 years ago?
Jinder.
This has Jinder Mahal written all over it.
It does.
But
that served a purpose.
Yes, that's true.
It did, but it did because technically the numbers didn't go up for Jinder.
But no, they served a purpose because they were doing their first Saudi Arabia show. So I mean,
it was a pandering title change, and it was just they went on a tour of India, and it's like, oh, here's the WWE champion who's the worst wrestler in 3-man band. Oh,
it's a 3-man band.
I don't know. What's also just blows my mind is the fact that this is the state of the WWE right now, that I am honestly worried that they're going to put the title on Baron Corbin, and yet there's no doubt in my mind that they are not going to put the title on Samoa Joe. Like,
yes.
How have they screwed this up so badly that I'm thinking Corbin has a better shot of winning the title than Joe does?
That's sad.
Secondly, or thirdly, I don't know how many points I've made already, but how have they and maybe I'm alone in thinking this. I don't know. I don't know if this is the WWE or what, but I feel like they've lost almost everything they had going with Becky at this point. I was so hot
completely
at Survivor Series. They had the whole Stone Cold thing going, and then they
ran into the ground.
It's like they realized, what they had, and it's Lenny in Of Mice and Men, and they just squeezed it, and then it's just they've ruined it. Like,
well, I think
such a good thing going, and now I'm kind of sick of her. I liked her.
Yeah.
When she first got called up, I was like, I like her, and then I loved her when she started her heel turn, and then I loved her even more when she went Stone Cold. I'm just getting kind of sick of her at this point.
Well, I think I'm wondering though, Sean, not to interrupt you, but I'm wondering if that's more the fact of what her matches have been.
It could. That's
and Lacey Evans, because you put her with someone like another. I mean, it's kind of drawn out now, but another Charlotte Flair match, or even Shayna Baszler, if she get called up. Like, I think Shayna Baszler is a perfect counterpart to Becky Lynch. So I think that'll reignite the fire in Becky in fans of Becky.
I think part of it, again, through no fault of Becky's, I think I'm still just kind of bitter that they added Charlotte into the title picture at WrestleMania when they had this perfect storyline of Becky versus what's her name? Ronda. You've got it just laid out perfectly. You overbook the crap out of it, add Charlotte into it, and it's like, even though Becky pinned Ronda, it's like we didn't get the closure that we should have had out of that whole feud. And to me, it's been just the WWE in general. It's not just Becky, but the WWE in general since then, and even honestly for a while before then, has just been complete and utter garbage to me. Anyway, my pick is Seth and Becky, but I'm scared to death that it's going to be the opposite.
I guess, Kevin, what you got? Yes.
So, just looking at the name of this match here on Wikipedia.
I thought you were going to say, looking at the name Baron Corbin.
But last chance, winners take all, mixed tag team, Extreme Rules match.
Mm-hmm.
Right there alone, you see that they've completely screwed up this match before you even see who's involved or anything. It's Baron Corbin. Is this his third title match in a row?
Yeah,
I believe so. Yeah.
This is Baron freaking Corbin. I have been on the hate train for this guy ever since he got called up. I have never seen a lick of talent in this guy. And even when he won Money in the Bank 2-3 years ago, whatever it was, I said, this is stupid. And yeah, this guy is not ready. He lost Money in the Bank. He's never done anything. And then ever since he became a waiter at Chili's, it's like, we're going to push this guy to the freaking moon. He's a constable, and then he's a general manager, and he's all this other crap.
Baron Corbin is the guy who asks you if you enjoyed your meal.
Yes. He's going to like, hey, did Freddie take good care of you? Okay, great. Like, this is insane. It's also, I hate this stipulation because it's so stupid to say that if Lacey gets lucky in kayfabe and lands a woman's right and knocks out Becky and Seth is fighting with Baron out on the outside, that he loses his title. It's so stupid. I hate the stipulation. I don't even want to think about living in a world where Baron Corbin is world champion.
No.
Universal champion, excuse me. Lacey Evans, kind of like Ernie was saying earlier, I was so excited when they called her up and I started seeing some of her early matches and stuff. I was like, this girl's got it, but this girl does not have it. It's like, I think if Sean was saying, I don't know if the stage is too big or what it is, but something, she's lost something. And the fact that they've now put her in 3 title matches in a row is absolutely insane.
Meanwhile, Ember Moon has not had a single title shot. Ember Moon, Sonya Deville, Asuka. Yeah, Asuka. You have Asuka and Kairi Sane. Just think about that. And you aren't.
And the other thing, whenever WWE has a relationship between 2 wrestlers, I'm surprised that Zelina is still with Andrade.
I am too, actually.
Because this is what they do when they've got a relationship that becomes public with 2 wrestlers, especially if you're talking 2 world champs or whatever you want to call the championships, this is what they do. So Becky goes, to Sean's point, Becky goes from being stone cold freaking Steve Austin to just being like, hey, love you, Seth. We're just gonna be happy go lucky and everything. It's not Becky's fault, kind of to what Nick was saying earlier. It's the booking, but they have completely screwed up this title reign completely.
Oh, yeah.
And like even Seth, why is Seth fighting this idiot? You've got the deepest roster ever in the history of wrestling, even with Ambrose leaving and everything else, and you get Baron freaking Corbin.
Yeah.
3 title shots in a row. Are you kidding me? I don't want anything to do with this match. My pick, after all my whining and complaining, is Seth and Becky. However, it will not surprise me if Baron and Lacey win and then the Beast comes out.
Mm-hmm. Actually, you know what? That's also part of why I think that's also going to happen as well. My pick is Seth and Becky, but I think if Baron and Lacey win, Baron doesn't walk out with that title. I think
the other thing that could happen is Brock comes out before there's a finish, just interjects himself into the match.
And he wins both titles.
Then he has the boobs to win the women's title.
Yeah, and I don't think that's a feasible option.
I was gonna say that's a way that you can at least. I don't know. I guess that doesn't make sense.
This also brings up another point. Why the hell do you put Money in the Bank on Brock
Lesnar
after everybody in that match tore the roof off the place and put their bodies on the line? My God,
Mustafa Ali. Anybody?
Are you kidding me?
Finn Balor?
Yeah, Finn Balor.
You just have Brock walk in, so I could walk out of the crowd and I could climb up when everybody's knocked out, and then I'm Money in the Bank. Is that how this works? Like, when was he entered? It's so. Putting it on him is a stupid idea. I know Vince sees him and he sees dollar signs, but it is so frustrating. Like they did the women's Money in the Bank perfectly, absolutely perfectly, from her winning it to her cashing it in that night. Perfect. I'm not saying you have to have somebody win it and hold on to it for 10 months or something like that, but you got to have it on somebody that it doesn't have to be a baby face. But if it's a heel, it's got to be somebody who's a heel for the right reasons, not a heel that has go away heat, which is what Brock has from all of us now. So
yeah.
So the other thing I'm thinking, I'm sure I'm way overthinking it, but this is Extreme Rules.
Mm-hmm.
So that tells me there are no rules. Could not Baron Corbin just pin Becky Lynch and still win both the titles for them? This is not like a typical mixed tag match or, it's got to be guy versus guy and girl. There's no rules. It's Extreme Rules. So can't whoever.
I'm sure there's like an underlying kind of feeling that, you still have to like pin the same sex.
Yeah. I'm sure I'm overthinking it. But.
At a time when Impact Wrestling is having intergender matches on the regular.
Didn't they just have a main event?
They did, actually. It was Tessa Blanchard versus Sami Callihan. Tessa Blanchard, one of the best, probably the best women's wrestler not in WWE right now.
Agreed.
I don't know.
I guess my worry is like, where from here, right? So my pick, Seth and Becky. So from here on out, like, where do Baron and Lacey Evans go? That's the thing. I think that.
I would love that. NXT. I actually would love that. Lacey Evans does need to go back to NXT.
No, I agree. Really, but I think that's kind of like the only like underlying fear for me of why like they could even come close to sniffing the titles is because you've put Baron kind of on this pedestal and now Lacey as well. So like, where do they go from here? Like, do they slide back down the mid card? They clearly are not getting any more championships if Seth and Becky win. So where do they go from here?
Yeah.
And then who's the next challenger for Seth?
I mean, you have a deep roster. I mean, honestly,
but you got AJ with the club. I know they've already done that.
Yeah, honestly,
AJ at least.
What about? Well, I mean, honestly, the brand split doesn't even matter anymore. So, like, just call Andrade, please.
Yeah,
please.
Just call Andrade, please. Him and Seth could put on a hell of a match.
Oh, yeah.
Andrade could put on a hell of a match with anybody. But I mean,
he could get a match out of Undertaker, for crying out loud,
dude. Okay, first off, let's be real here. Andrade could put on a clinic with Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, 100%.
Dude, they could literally like Andrade can drag just about anybody into a good match. You could take the most garbage wrestler and make them look like $1 million. I mean, literally, Andrade is responsible for probably the only 5-star match that WWE has had in recent memory, and that was with Johnny Gargano. Not to say that Johnny Gargano's bad, but just saying that you literally had two of the best wrestlers working today.
Well, I mean, hell,
in the same match.
Andrade pulled almost a 5-star match out of Rey Mysterio 4 months ago. So
Actually, he did it on 3 separate occasions.
Yeah.
And they gave those away on free TV.
Free TV. Yep.
God, that's That's an Eric Bischoff move.
Yeah. So I guess I just worry where those two people go from here, and then who would be the next two, respectively, for Becky and Seth to step up. That's the only worries I have, and of course the lingering factor of Brock, because at the same time, how we talked about Kofi earlier.
Yeah. Does
Brock feel, or I guess really Vince, does Vince feel that the WWE title is worth enough for Brock to hold? Because they in the eye of the beholder, the Universal title is so much more bigger now because it is the Universal title.
Yeah.
Would they ever slum Brock over to the WWE title?
Well, they're going to want him on Fox.
Exactly. That's it. Before the Fox deal, before it going to basic cable, I would have said hell no. But the amount of money that's in this deal and all the stuff that's going in behind the scenes, and they're going to do a network show, and they're doing a new logo, all this other stuff. It wouldn't. I mean, and they brought Roman over, for crying out loud.
Yep.
Right.
Although it seems like he only wrestles on Raw now, but whatever.
Because the brand split.
It's so stupid. Wild card, baby.
Wild card rules, man. The rule keeps. The only thing. What's so wild about the wild card rule? It changes every week.
That's true. But Seth's always there. I mean, not Seth. It's Shane.
Shane. No, Shane. Heck, if I honestly don't understand why Roman has been on Raw 8 out of the last I don't know how many Raws.
That's what I'm saying. Why?
Just I don't know. I'm so over it. I'm ready. I'm ready for SummerSlam, because I feel like SummerSlam Vince will be forced to come up with a good card, especially if you take into consideration. Well, because of your birthday, but also you got to bear in mind. What other pay-per-view is happening in August?
Is that the night before?
It's not the night before.
31st.
It's the 31st. But the thing is, it's going to be that same month, so people are going to be talking about All Out. They're going to be talking about it. Also, there's Fight for the Fallen this weekend.
This weekend, yeah.
This weekend.
So I mean,
on Saturday.
It's. Oh God.
But by the way, what city is that next AEW pay-per-view in?
It is going to be in Chicago.
Okay.
Huh. That's weird.
Poor Kevin.
I can't wait till we get to talk about that pay-per-view and I get to get my hopes up.
And crushed.
You never look.
Spoiler alert.
Never know. You never know. You never know.
No, we know.
We know, but we don't know.
We don't want to know.
We don't
want to know. I want to believe.
I mean, we live in a world where literally you can find Dean Ambrose on AEW on a Saturday evening as John Moxley. I mean, come on.
How does he do
it?
He does more Twitter posts at AEW than he ever did at WWE.
Oh,
well,
yes.
You know why? That came out in the Jericho podcast too. He's like, "You guys made me create this account. Fine, I'm never going to post."
Okay.
I hate this crap.
He loves it as John Moxley.
He's all about it.
Right, because they give him, instead of just being like Vince saying, "Hey, Dean, I got some really good for you to write here." He can actually write what he wants to write.
Hey, ride this unicycle.
I'm so hyped. I can't wait. Here's some ketchup and some mustard.
Ride this unicycle and juggle these hot dogs. It's just dumb. Okay, so let's go ahead and just say, just for Claro, this is going to be probably. I know that we said this about Stomping Grounds. Granted, this is before the inaugural episode of Smark Shooters, but I mean, my whole thing is that I feel like we said Stomping Grounds was going to be the worst pay-per-view, and it turned out it was actually
decent.
It was decent. But the thing is, this should be the pay-per-view I'm hyped for, and I'm not. I'm the opposite of hyped for this. I don't want it. I don't care about it. I'm very much not interested. So I'm going to go ahead and say right now, this is basically going to be a snooze fest. and we're just gonna wait. We're just gonna ride this out till we can get to SummerSlam.
Well, I think I think our quote unquote main events are a snooze fest, right?
Yeah.
I mean, our undercard or mid card things. I think those we're gonna get excited and pumped for, and we're definitely gonna have some holy s moments.
Oh yeah. I think so. I mean, I think it's gonna be fine. I think it's gonna be fine. I just
as a WWE apologist in our quartet here.
I think I'm the WWE accuser.
I'm right there with you.
Oh yeah, the two.
What's funny is the
Wait.
two most likely pre-show matches are going to be far and away better than what are likely to be the two main event matches.
Oh yeah,
And that's how you sell pay-per-view. Again, they don't need to sell pay-per-views anymore because we just pay $10 a month, and I forget that I even pay it.
yeah. No, it's you're
Luckily
right.
for WWE.
Exactly. You have to have the top of the card be what people want to see. There's going to be some really good matches on this pay-per-view. Black and Cesaro, AJ and Ricochet, and maybe the tag matches and the cruiserweight, which nobody will see, like you were saying, because it'll be on the pre-show. But like, what you've got to give us something better than this. If those two main events were different, if you just did Seth versus Drew and Roman versus hell, feed Baron to Roman or something. I don't care. Just something so we can all be happy because Roman kills him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And whatever. And have Becky fight somebody that is actually deserving.
A credible
Then
threat.
Pretty good. Then you've got a pretty good pay-per-view on your hands. We do not have that at this time. And again, no Finn Balor. So I don't know.
Yeah, that too.
Unless Finn Balor and Shinsuke Nakamura are added to
Sneak
the
in
card,
there.
like they sneak him in there. And you have no women's tag team match, so it's like, look, and this
How are we
is
supposed to care if you don't care?
exactly that is always my question. But do we have anything else we want to add on for this before we get ready to jump out? Everybody got any final thoughts? Anyone else got any final thoughts or anything?
I'm good. I hope it's better than I think it'll be. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
Let's see, Nick.
No, I mean, yeah. I echo Kevin. I mean, if Stomping Ground surprises us, then hopefully this pay-per-view will.
We can only hope.
surprise us. Yeah.
Sean, you got any final thoughts?
No, I mean, my hopes could not be lower for this pay-per-view. So in the end, it will probably exceed my hopes, but that's not really saying much. So
Yeah, it'll and you know what it's just gonna be sad. That's all I know. It's gonna be sad, especially and just when you consider the fact that Fight for the Fallen is literally the day before. It's just AEW is gonna literally just people will be exhausted from Fight for the Fallen. I can already see it now. For seeing these great matches. But that said, I guess let's go ahead and close it out here. We've told you how garbage we think this pay-per-view is going to be. And you've heard it here first from the Smark Shooters, which once again I want to go ahead and say right now is the best there is, the best there was, best there ever will be. Podcast, video show, everything that you will ever see about the squared circle. And I guess I want to say I've always wanted to do this. This is my favorite thing that Tony Schiavone has ever said. I want to go ahead and say it right now. I want to go ahead and say it right now real quick because you make sure you follow us. I think do we have all the social media? Or we just got the Twitter right now.
we got the Twitter.
We got the Twitter. That's all that matters. Nobody else. Nothing else matters.
What do you think?
We got to
I'm saying, that's all we got.
So yeah, you can follow us at Smark Shooters on Twitter. Just make sure you follow us there. Also, just want to go ahead and let you know that for me, I'm Ernie. We got Kevin, Sean, Nick, and Baron Corbin, Lacey Evans. You can go to hell. Good night, everybody.